This is the second time I'm filming this video. I am hoping this is the last time I'm filming this video. I filmed the video. It was very windy. I did not have any of my mic situation going on, and let's just say the visuals are there, the audio is not. So, part two. Have you ever put something off because you were scared or because you weren't ready? What if waiting is actually what's holding you back? It is a common occurrence. The truth is, delaying it doesn't mean that you're still on track. Sometimes it means you're giving up without realizing it. So, if you haven't caught on already, we are talking about just going out there and doing the things that you really, really want to do, but maybe you're a little scared of that. And the reason I think this is a great video to touch on is because I actually went through a moment like this, especially last year. I did a lot of planning. I took a year off, focused on my brand and like just the background structure of things. I do not regret taking a moment for my brand, but I do want to acknowledge that those were moments that I could have been taking care of my brand and the structure while also doing things. I just decided to pick what was most important to me. So I waited. This year, we are done with the wait. We are more going into the action and making sure things are possible. We're exploring why waiting for the right moment can be a trap, how fear keeps us stuck. And I just explained, last year I felt stuck for many different reasons. And honestly, it all comes down to my mindset. My mindset was I have a fear of failure. I still do. Everything that I do, I want it to be done perfectly and I want it to succeed. And I had to kind of get away from that thinking for me to actually start doing things. Because honestly, anytime you're doing something for the first time, it's not going to be perfect. Sorry to let you know that, but it's not going to be perfect, and you kind of have to keep doing something to get better at it and to actually see what can happen. So that is what I'm doing right now. I am constantly putting things out. I am constantly doing things that I may be a little afraid of, that I may fear that will lead me to failure. But honestly, I don't really know if it's going to lead me to failure if I never try. Perfection and procrastination are disguised as planning. Last year I planned. I am continuously planning. I will never give up planning. But it is not good to replace the action with the plan. So I want to go to this place and I plan for a year, 2 years, 3 years. Basically, I have a whole binder of just the plan, but I haven't taken the action yet. I'm not doing the thing. So realistically, you're not doing anything. The year that I just spent, I'm going to say this so many times, I thought I would stop, but it was the worst year of my life so far. It's just nothing memorable, many negative things. I was really sad in 2024. And this year, I am looking to put a lot of action to every plan that I've ever had, so that I don't have that same year again. I am famously known for overthinking things and waiting for perfect moments, but that leads to missed opportunities. Last year, I could have banged out a lot of videos about things that I'm doing, but unfortunately, I decided to plan. I am not regretting any of the plans that I did make, but I do feel like I should have continued making content while I was making those plans. But we learned from it and we're moving on. Next is the consequences of inaction. So I've talked about inaction. Basically, you stay in one place, you're stagnant, you're not going through the motions of anything, you're not being active. So what are the consequences? It's just you being inactive. Who is it hurting? That's what the question would probably be. Well, honestly, it's hurting you. Inaction means you have lost time and you have missed opportunities. And you don't know what they are because you didn't take the chance, you didn't put yourself out there, and you didn't push forward. I know I lost time in visiting places that I wanted to visit, filming things I wanted to film, getting creative ideas out of my brain and onto paper and then onto a script and onto a final product. I've missed that time. And throughout the time that I was inactive, my self doubt was increasing and also the fear was increasing as well. So, what were my negatives? I missed opportunities. I became self doubt in myself increased, my fear increased, my fear of failure increased, and I lost the time. I don't want that to do that again. So, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep pushing forward and hopefully see what this year will hold. Let's talk about perfection. So, even if it's imperfect, it's great to get started because when you first start anything, you're never going to be perfect. And if you're waiting for perfection, you have already failed. So, embracing perfection um, sort of gets you to value the progress rather than a perfect final piece because it takes years to reach a mastery level in whatever craft that you are doing. Reading and watching YouTube videos, that's not how you're going to master something. You're going to learn some of the skills, but actually putting those into practice, actually getting your hands dirty, actually practicing those in your daily life, in the real world. That's how you gain those skills. That's how you master them. Just reading them off a book, that's not how you master them. You have to be able to apply them. And applying them starts off a little rough, but the more you apply it, the more comfortable you become with it, and then the more skilled you become at it. If you're scared of launching a project, start with the outline. Start with the rough draft. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be that first step that you take so that you can move forward. My first step this year was doing my I'm back video. Very rough. It was just me explaining I'm back into filming. This is what to expect from me. But I will say, when I finished that, it motivated me to keep going forward, to think about the next video, to think about what I can do next. And I am very thankful that I was able to put that video out, one, on the day that I wanted it to be released, and it looked exactly how I wanted it to. So this is something I'm following this year. It's Proverbs 16, verse 3, which is commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plan. Like I said, I love to plan everything. I want anything that I ever do to be planned. But also this year, I'm ensuring that while I do plan, I leave room for God's little changes, to leave room for God's master plan, because I may plan something and then God just throws me for a loop and sends something else my way. So, create the plan, but always expect the plan to fail or something to kind of work its way into the plan. For those who are not religious, that's what you need to take from it. Just make the plan and then try to execute the plan, but always leave some wiggle room for what life does best. Just throw you for a loop. Now, I've talked about just your mindset. Now it's time to reframe that mindset. Instead of thinking, what if I fall? You need to start thinking, what if I never tried? So how do you really know that you're not going to be great at something? Or how do you really know that this thing would be great if you did it if you haven't tried? You can't really say something's good, something's bad if you haven't really tried to do it. So I want everyone to focus on action, action, action. I've been saying it this whole video. That's what you need to get from this. You need to actually put in the action, get out there and do the work. Then you'll know, was it a failure? Was it not? At least you tried. And I feel like we've been learning this since we were in high school and in elementary school. But unfortunately, some skills or some lessons, they get lost along the way. And it's time to pick up that lesson back up because it's something that you can use in your daily life for everything that you do. This is the end of my video, but I'm going to say this. Think of one thing that you've been putting off because you're scared. Drop it in the comments, or better yet, take the first step and start doing what that thing is that has scared you. I encourage everyone to like, subscribe, and share this video. But also, most importantly, I encourage everyone to live your best life. And the way to do that is doing the things that scare you and getting out there and doing what you think you might love, but you have that fear of failure. I have so many things on my list that I really, really want to try. And I'm hopeful that this year I have the chance to try as many of them as possible. And I want to end with this. The fear will always be there, but so will the possibility of greatness. Don't wait, just start. So, together with me, let's all just start the project that we've been holding on for so long. Bye.